everyone, and welcome back to our penultimate episode on the local dish with Ish. Yes, that's right. We have only 2 episodes left, including this one for this season, and we are super grateful to Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers for being able to provide this platform so that we can reach our greater Austin area audiences, promote local businesses, and also talk about some of the great organizations that are within our community that are doing some good work right now, sometimes a little bit more now than ever. And so we are super privileged today to feature HAAM, the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, an organization that is near and dear to my heart personally, but also a wonderful partner of the YMCA of Austin. And so for today, we're going to just eat, as is tradition, and we're going to talk a little bit about the impact that both organizations have in our community. We'll tell you a little bit about our guest, and then we're going to showcase, of course, the food that we want to highlight. And remember, you can nominate your favorite restaurants in the comment section below. And we really, our message for you all today is support local businesses as we all kind of reopen into phase 1 and all the complexities that come with it. So thank you to all of our partners in particular today. Let's start off with HAAM. And so I want to talk to you, Rachel. I'm going to give away your name, but yeah. Rachel, tell us a little bit about who you are. Tell us HAAM, like what does HAAM do? And also what do you do for HAAM?
Sure. So thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here and talking with you today. And any chance that we have to kind of share the share HAAM's story and the work that we're doing, we love to talk about that because and our partnership with the Y, which has been so fun for us and our musicians. But we feel like HAAM is more relevant and more important than ever right now. The mission of the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians is to provide affordable healthcare to Austin's working musicians with a focus on prevention and wellness. And we do that in many ways, but primarily through connecting them with local healthcare resources, making sure that they have grade A, top-notch health insurance, and then also access to, and we help them fund that health insurance so that it's as affordable as we can possibly make it. And we also really want to make sure that their hearing is protected over time, that their vision is protected, that they can see while they're driving back and forth from gigs, although that seems like so long ago, you know, it's almost like it's not a thing of the past. I mean, it's a thing of the past. Hopefully it will soon be a thing of the future in a safe way, but we have a real focus on gearing our services with an occupational tie-in to try to be as relevant to musicians as possible, so that we have an expert with the Musician Treatment Foundation, Dr. Barron, for instance, who can really help musicians with their upper extremity issues. So if they have tendonitis or a broken hand or something like that, that could really be devastating for their career, we're right there to help walk them through that. And we have an incredible team of navigators who will help decode and make the healthcare system as easy as possible. I don't know about you, Ish, but sometimes when I get bills from doctors, I'm like, whoa, what is this? And so, what does this mean? Is this right? What are these codes? So we do a lot of work explaining what's the difference between a copay, a deductible, co-insurance. What's the difference between a statement and a bill? I thought my insurance was supposed to pay this and I'm getting a big bill for this. All those things can be really scary in the middle of a healthcare crisis. Yeah. And speaking of healthcare crises, we are in a worldwide pandemic and our musicians are out of work. Right. And the entertainment industry has been decimated by the shutdowns, and musicians understand why. They get it. They want to be safe. They don't want to get sick, but they are hurting. They're hungry. They are worried about paying rent. They are wondering if they can pay their health insurance premiums. They're worrying worried if they can afford their insulin for their diabetes or their blood pressure medication, or co-pays to get their kids in to get their well checks done. I mean, there's all sorts of different things that musicians are facing right now. So HAAM is here to help.
Yeah, no, and you know, I think back to some of the days when I've interacted with HAAM and some of the HAAM guests, some of the employees, and the work that you all do is really important. I think you've said a couple of things that are very interesting. One, the healthcare industry is complex. My entire background at the university level was studying public health, nutrition, and then learning about health systems globally and locally. And, you know, doing some comparative analysis on which ones work, which ones don't work. And let's just say the U.S., where, you know, we have a tendency to say we're the best healthcare system in the world, and I think that we provide excellent service, but there are some complexities to that. So to have an organization that specifically supports our musicians is highly important because, you know, I've seen it here in Austin. Austin is funded largely by the entertainment industry. We have large periods of time that bring in billions of economic development and support and memories to many of us. And, you know, I can think of South by Southwest and all the fun festivals that are happening. I mean, you all just had Ray Benson's entire concert series go virtual. Yeah. And so, you know, we can think and we can, you know, try to be empathetic, but at the end of the day, musicians need that support for the work that they do in making our city so exciting, you know, so fun. I mean, we're the hub of so many creatives, and they deserve our support. And so I would encourage folks to visit your website, myhaam.org, and to go there, learn about the wealth of resources that are available to musicians, because chances are, if you live in Austin, you know a musician. You're friends with someone that is, you know, either a DJ or, you know, working at a music venue. And so we're so interconnected in this town. We still like to pride ourselves in being a small town with a big city mentality. And right now is the time to go in, support them, to seek out organizations like you that are doing not only physical health, but also connecting them to resources at an emotional health level. And so I love seeing HAAM be that connector in our organization and really take the lead. And so I'm really grateful for the work that you all are doing. And like I said, probably out of many of the organizations we featured on the show, I spent a whole year working within the music industry for a separate nonprofit, but, you know, it's been such an honor and privilege to work alongside your team to support those creatives and artists that are important to us and that I can associate positive memories with. And Rachel, tell us a little bit about what do you do there?
Oh, sure. So I am HAAM's Chief Operating Officer. I work at many different levels of the organization and have been really happy and proud to have developed HAAM's programming over the last 4 years to manage our staff, lead our teams, work on strategy. Like a lot of small, medium nonprofits, you do a little bit of everything. I always joke that my first week on the job 4 years ago was Ray Benson's birthday. And I was potting plants in the parking garage, trying to get some last minute centerpieces together. And then the end of that night was topped off with George Strait. So that was a great, great intro to HAAM, but it kind of exemplifies, you know, no job is too small and no high is too high, right? Because like getting to see George Strait was just amazing. And we have people who come together from all over town, all over the world to support our musicians. I think one of the earlier points that you made was really great, that, you know, Austin musicians kind of provide the soundtrack to our lives.
Right.
I think a lot of us have been sustained during these times of isolation with music. And I've been thinking, you know, how much does it take to get a song on the radio, to watch a live stream, to get up on stage? There's so much that goes into having that song be ready to be performed, or the song that's going to be written or composed or recorded for an orchestra to play. I mean, there's just so much that goes into that. And so we feel really proud and really grateful to be walking alongside our musicians to make sure that they're healthy, to make sure that they have access to programs like our partnership with the Y, and where they can really work on those preventative pieces. And Austin musicians, any musician's body is the mechanism through which they perform. And so being healthy, being strong, being physically fit, being well is super, super important into having a sustainable career over time.
Right, right. And partnerships are key to make sure that this happens. And as a public health nerd, any speak of prevention makes me super happy. Because there are certain practices, there are certain things that we can do. And I myself am was a musician for almost 8 years. And you know, I totally understand that toll that you see. You know, your hands, they start hurting after years of playing the piano. Your vocal cords, you know, might seem a little bit wishy-washy here and there. Particularly if you have like raspy voices. But anyway, I could talk a lot about all of those things. And, you know, I'm with you. I can think of those moments where I was, you know, listening to Shiny Ribs, like, and he's right in front of me and just like, and, you know, opportunities like that are not rare in Austin, you know, because if you support organizations like HAAM and organizations like the YMCA of Austin, there's so many fun opportunities to be involved with that. I can think of the Y and some events that we've had where the Peterson brothers have been there. I can think back to being at the Austin Music Awards and seeing a lot of the local celebrities that we have. So, you know, it's quite a wonderful experience, and we encourage our audience, when you think about Austin, think about those that make Austin a special place. And I can assure you that the majority of the time you will always hear something in the background, and that's the musicians that are setting the tone, setting the atmosphere for good memories and good times with friends. So again, I encourage everyone, visit myham.org and learn more about what they're doing and learn more about their partners. And with that, you know, one of the exciting things that we do here at the Y is we use our brand, we use our reach to ensure that we can get everyone through the door that needs to be in the door and support those families that need us at whatever stage of the life it is. Whether it's just, I want to go get a gym membership, you can go. Or if it's someone that is just recovering from cancer treatment, guess what? We have special programs for you. And then just last year, we were able to add our partnership with HAAM. And it's special. It's wonderful to know that musicians who should be able to have access to preventative health care, like many people, can now do that at the Y. And some of our most heartwarming stories and testimonials come from musicians that, you know, they can get inspired there through the community they find at the Y. And it's just wonderful to know that HAAM is able to do that. And so, Rachel, do you have any fun story or testimonial, or maybe something that you've heard about a musician going to the Y that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I just saw that we're about to crest the 10,000 workout mark for HAAM members since we launched last summer. So in about a year, we've had 10,000 workouts because of this partnership. So I thought that was a really cool statistic. And people love the community. There are pickup basketball games that are happening. Musicians go work out together. One really cool thing that has been exciting is that Y membership allows musicians to work out when they're on the road. Much of that is on pause right now, but people are really looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah.
And you may know this, some of the viewers may not know this, but a lot of times musicians spend a lot of time in vans and buses and cars getting to their gigs, going on tour. There are not always readily available facilities, or they're just pushing and they're going from place to place. So if they can stop and go work out at the Y, catch a shower, their bandmates always appreciate that in terms of
What do you mean?
band relations in the in the van. And you know, so the Y is a resource and kind of a health home for musicians while they're on the road, and that has been really instrumental in maintaining health, because sometimes people will be gone for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. That's a long time to be hustling out there. So
right.
We have always really appreciated that. And, you know, a lot of our families, musicians who have families, really appreciate child watch and being able to go and take their kids so that they can get their workouts in. Personally, as a Y member myself, it's been super fun to I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And, you know, we were really loving and really do love the Buta Y, and go and use, especially the pool. And so a lot of my son Joe is learning how to swim at the Y. And so that's been really important for our family. And when we're feeling cooped up and needing a chance to get out there, that's been just an incredible resource.
Well, we are reopening June 1st, and some things will look a little bit different.
I'm sure.
We encourage people to go to austinymca.org to be able to see all of the latest and greatest information about what's happening and which branches will be open and what services will be available. But I'm so happy to hear that you are a member yourself. You know, I have been a member here in Austin for, I think, like 9 years. So it's something that I'm very proud of, and it definitely is part of what I consider my ideal day in Austin, is to just go to the Y. I'm a regular member at Town Lake, so I would just go to Town Lake and I'd get my coffee, I'd go work out, I'd get my coffee again, you know. It's such a cycle, and it's something that really brings a lot of joy to me. And so knowing that it has an impact on you too at, you know, a different stage of your life with kids learning how to swim, it's pretty exciting. And I love seeing how the Y touches people's lives in that way. One of my favorite things about HAAM is the nickname you all have for people that support HAAM. And I believe they're called hamsters. Is this correct?
The little ones. Yes. We have onesies and little kid t-shirts that say hamster on the back. Yeah.
I call myself a hamster. I don't know
if
that's...
You can be you can be one of our hamsters. Absolutely.
Okay.
We have our hamily, and so that's what we call our staff, is our hamily. We have ambassadors, and they are our incredible team of volunteers that help us pull off the work that we do. And then we have our hamsters. And
hey, I'm Team Hamster.
Yeah,
I love that name. And you talked about ambassadors, and I love that you bring that up, because that is one way that the community can help you all. You all have a signature event every year called HAAM Day. It's in September.
I'm wearing my HAAM Day t-shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if we can see. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. HAAM Day 2019.
And I remember I was a ambassador, I think, for 1 or 2 years. And you're basically, HAAM makes the city just a big concert day. And I probably am not the person to promote it in this way, but I'm going to do my best. It is a big concert across the city. You have hundreds of venues. I'm going to say hundreds of musicians all in one day. And all of the funds that are connected that day help support the musicians at the HAAM organization who are served by them. So very exciting. I have no idea what it's going to look like this year. We're not even going to talk about that. But
we're getting excited. We're retooling. We're getting excited.
But I'm sure it's going to be great. You always put a great show. And I just, again, near and dear the music industry here in Austin needs our support, and we need to find ways, whether it's going to the website, looking for services, referring a friend, donating to these organizations, going and becoming a HAAM ambassador. There are lots of opportunities, both at HAAM and at the Y. We don't serve different communities. We serve Austin. We serve the people in Austin. And whether it's catering to musicians or families or seniors, doesn't quite matter, because the impact that you can make can be with any of these wonderful organizations that we're talking about today. So know that those opportunities are available. We need people like you. I'm now talking to you, audience. We need people like you to amplify our messages and make sure that we're taking care of those populations that are going through financial hardships or health hardships. And HAAM is just one of those great opportunities to get involved and give back to the community. Now that we've talked a lot about our love for the organizations, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the local dish. So I want to introduce you all to the dish that I have for today. I live close to the corner of Riverside and Lakeshore here in Austin, and a couple of years ago we had a new development called the South Shore District, and within that district complex they have built a couple of restaurants, and one of those is called MOUR Café. MOUR Café is both a restaurant, a wine shop. You can get some beer, you can get some sparkling water, you can get some smiles from friendly staff. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? So there's a lot of opportunities. There's indoor seating, there's outdoor seating. Right now, as you know, we have some state regulations that say that we can open up at 25% capacity. You can actually go in and dine. They have taped out the floors. You know what the appropriate social distance is going to be. You can even sit outside. And it was very easy. You can also order online directly to the restaurant, which is great because you know that 100% of that entire purchase will go back to the local restaurant. So we encourage you to always call the restaurants. If you can't, there's obviously delivery services. We want you to support them, but just know that we definitely want to support local. And for today, I ordered from their menu. They have a lot of different things. They have both American options and then Mexican style dishes that you can enjoy. Here are some green chilaquiles with some steak on top. I mean, come on, seriously. You just... Oh,
I'm headed over for lunch.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
But it is lunch. No, I'm kidding. Second lunch. Are you a hobbit? No, I'm kidding. So I encourage you, MOUR Café. Very, very good and super tasty, friendly staff, easy to go to, pretty central to Austin. Again, go to their website or just Google MOUR Café. We'll have all the links in the description. And I mean, bon appetit to everybody because I'm hungry. So Rachel, what do you have?
Yeah, sure. So one of my favorite drinks, this is what I'm drinking, is my HEB Organics sparkling blood orange soda, and they're really refreshing. HEB's been so generous to HAAM and helping us feed our musicians. We've started a basic needs program, and that's just been incredible. So trying to get people access to food. And I have been, the social distancing stuff has been really hard on people, but one of the benefits has been getting more time at home and time to cook. And so one of the things that I did and decided is maybe a little bit of a different take on it was I'm featuring food today from Johnson's Backyard Garden. And it's the local CSA every week. We go and we pick up our box at the downtown Buda Farmers Market. I live in Manchac. And so there aren't a ton of restaurants around here. But we have really, really been enjoying this. I live in a multi-generational household. We call it the compound, where my parents live in the house behind ours, kind of next door. And then we live what we call up the hill. And so we split a large box every week and we cook together. And so local produce from local farmers, it's organic and absolutely delicious. So included is some cauliflower and some green beans and some other stuff and a big old mashup. And so it's been an incredible opportunity. They have also, Johnson Backyard Gardens, they've also extended a discount to HAAM members to get access to local produce and to make it affordable, and appreciate that so much, because that's one of the things that I was worried about in all of this is like sourcing. I'm the procurement team for the household. And so I was thinking, how are we going to get fresh vegetables in this time? And so they've been the answer to that.
That is so good to hear. It is tough out there. Malnutrition is a serious issue that happens. And we know that for communities that struggle, they might live in food deserts, and accessibility is a key concern for populations. And as people can't eat well, they get sicker, they might have some challenges with their health in the future. And so I think that this organization that you're highlighting today is just such a key component to making Austin healthy and keeping people healthy. So shout out to them. Yeah. We'll make sure to add them to the description as well. Folks, fresh produce is a thing that we should all benefit from. It's important to having a healthy and nutritious diet. So that's great. And I want to thank you, Rachel, for taking the time to speak to us about what you do, your organization, your favorite restaurant, and the things that kind of make you happy in terms of Austin music. I want to end with just one question, and it's not scripted. None of this is. It's all live. So my question to you is, why should people help Austin musicians?
Such a great question, and it gets really, I think, to the heart of why HAAM exists, is that HAAM musicians need our community now more than ever. And as we're talking about nutrition and food, I'm reminded of the stories that our members are telling us that where they don't have enough food, or they have diabetes and they're not able to eat healthily, and they're not able to regulate their blood sugar, that they've got chronic conditions that they're trying to manage. And it matters. You know, health doesn't stop because other things have stopped. People's healthcare conditions are still there. We are working on helping our population be as healthy as possible, but we need our community. We need Austin and the surrounding areas now more than ever. Like a lot of nonprofits, we're being challenged right now to fundraise in a really difficult environment. We raise our budget every year. The money we take in, we turn around and we give it to Austin musicians. Every $100 that people donate turns into $700 of healthcare.
Yeah. Wow.
And Austin musicians were struggling before, but they are really, really struggling now. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not exaggerating. I really mean it. Collectively, within the first month or two of the shutdown, they lost probably over $7 million in income just in our HAAM population. And they need us. So if you're a dentist and you want to donate dental care, reach out. If you're a physician and you want to provide pro bono services, please reach out. If you have a few dollars to spare, we will use them and turn them around and help folks. Because, you know, I've been saying this, kind of like the Barton Springs salamander, the Austin musician community and Austin musicians are now an endangered species. And the window is closing for us to act to preserve what we have. But pretty soon, folks are going to be desperate and they're going to have to go get other jobs. They're going to have to abandon their musical ambitions. There won't be as many people to fill the clubs and shows and play the backyard parties and to be at Moody Theater and at Stubbs and all the places that we love to go see music. Our musicians, if you're inspired to act, they need you. They need you to get on their websites or their Facebook, support their live stream, buy their merch, download their music, send them a check. If you don't have money, send them their good wishes. They need the moral support. They're struggling. They're scared. They are hanging on every word of encouragement. So if you're a friend or a fan of a musician, message them on Facebook.
Right.
Send them an email, go to their website, send them a note, tell them how their music has changed or impacted your life. Those kinds of things can be sustaining and encouraging in a time of real desperation. And I guess the last thing I'd want to just say is thank you to everyone who has supported HAAM, who helped support our partnerships with the Y, with the other organizations that we work with, because you are literally helping us save musicians' lives and we're keeping them on stage together. And without the community support, we just couldn't do what we do. So thank you.
Yeah, Rachel, I think we share that as well. To your point just now, I think of kind of the bright spot of my days, and that's like putting Shaky Graves on loop, right? I'm just like, keep it going. But one of the most powerful statements that I heard working with a music industry support organization here in town was, you saved my life. Mm-hmm. The issues that are encountered by vulnerable populations can take different journeys. They can take different paths. It could be, we're struggling with mental health. We're struggling with health. We're struggling with homelessness. And sometimes those intertwine. And they're not the most fun paths. And that's why organizations like HAAM are important. That's why organizations like the Y, where we can prevent and provide that healthy living component of our mission, those are important. These partnerships are important. And I would say my kudos to all those organizational leaders at the Y and even at HAAM for always being open-minded in partnerships and in not trying to carry the load together. I mean, individually, but to do it together. Because there's so many great organizations that do excellent work. And so I just want to remind the audience that today we are proud to stand and partner with HAAM. They are our friends. When you support them, you support us. And when you support us, you support them. And so just make sure that that you're doing something and that you click that challenge accepted to give back and to support populations that need us. And in addition to that, do some of those things that Rachel said. Like, let's listen to their music. Let's reach out to them. Let's encourage them. It's a tough time now. And let's also do the same for local restaurants, which was the entire point of why we created this show. And that is that musicians like restaurants are places and spaces that make Austin a great place. And we want you to go out there and practice social distancing, of course, and be safe always, but make sure that these businesses are still here once we are over the hill. And then also make sure that musicians are still taken care of and here when we are over that same hill. So Rachel, thank you. HAAM, thank you. Raising Cane's, thank you for providing this platform so that we can do it. And as a reminder, you can still help organizations like HAAM by going to our websites. Go to myham.org, go to austinymca.org, and then if you have an opportunity to give, do so. There are so many different ways. I can think of one that we have this weekend at the Y. If you show up to a Raising Cane's any Sunday until June 7th, from 12 to 8 p.m., any purchase that you make, 15% of that sale will go back to a family that's being served at the Y. Just make sure to mention YMCA of Austin at the drive-thru, and you will directly support our community. Well, family, friends, families, Ambassadors.
Hamsters.
Thank you for joining us today. Take care. We love you guys and enjoy your day.